Have you just gotten your Cricut machine and you are wondering what to do with this thing now? Well, welcome to Kim's Crafting Corner. On today's video, I'm going to show you the basics of your machine. Not how to use that, we're going to cover it in another video. But just quickly, what are the different parts of the machine? How do you plug it in? How do you how can you connect it to your computer? So first of all, let's just start. I've got my Cricut here. Now you see the design on the top there. That does not come with your Cricut machine. That is a beginner project video that I did. So if you really like that design and you want to decorate your machine, go down into the description and the link to the video will be there. Also, how you can get that designed for free to get you started on your Cricut journey. So first of all, let's just take a look at the different parts. You have your storage unit here, and this is great for just putting, your Cricut tools in. You've got, the front of your machine. Now these two panels open up. You have your power button up at the top here. You have your dial here so that you can choose which materials you like. But I will tell you that for the most part, I keep mine on custom and I set the material in Cricut Design Space. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, I also have a video here on YouTube about Design Space as well. And then you have your 3 buttons here, and we'll go through those in a few minutes. So first of all, let's plug your machine in. Now, you're going to see on the back here, down at the bottom here, you've got 2 plugs. One of them is for power, which is this black one here on the right. And the other one is for connecting to your machine through USB. And we will talk about that in a minute. So right now, let's turn this back around again. It's not as light as it looks. There you go. Especially when I am behind the camera trying to do this. So once you've got it plugged in, you can come over here, turn on your power button, and you can click the open button here. And as you will see, it opens up. Now let's go through a little bit here on just the different parts here. So this is your main cutting unit here, and it's got 2 slots in it. It's got your A slot and your B slot. Now your B slot here, and this is the Cricut Explorer Air 2. And as far as I know, the Cricut Maker is the same. The Joy I don't know about, so we'll just say that this is for the Cricut Maker and the Cricut Explorer Air 2. So the B slot is your cutting slot, and you can actually open it up and you can take your housing unit out. Now your housing unit holds your blade. So you see this little button here, you push it, see the blade comes up. And that's how you can actually take out your blade. Now this is the general housing. And if you have the Explorer Air 2, this is the one that you'll be using, and you can exchange the blades for just a regular blade. You have the fine blade and the deep blade. Now with the Maker machines, they have lots of different housings for cutting different materials. So you need to make sure that if you have a Maker, that you have the right housing and the right blade for the projects that you want to do. But let me just quickly show you, how do you exchange out your blades. So let me grab a blade here. Now I am a big fan of Cricut products, but there are a couple of things that I don't use Cricut products for. One of them are the blades. Now, you will go through blades. If you're using a machine on a regular basis, you are going to go through blades. And you will start to know that you need to change your blade because it just starts not cutting properly anymore. These do get dull. Now, the Cricut blades do last longer, but they're a lot more expensive. So you can get these type of little blades, and they come in regular, deep, and Fine, which work in both the Maker and the Explorer Air 2. And you can get them on Amazon for like 10, 15, 20, 30 cents a needle, even 40, 50 cents. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's a lot less than the cost of the Cricut blades. And you know what? They last a reasonable amount of time, but because they're so inexpensive, if you have to exchange it because it's gotten dull, you can just quickly do that. So we're going to take this red piece off here. So you can actually see it covers the blade part here. So I'm going to put that down. Now the one thing I am going to do, I find it easier to do this with, is I grab a pair of tweezers. So I take the blade up, I hold it, I grab it with the tweezers, I pull it out. Now I have a little pill bottle here for storing my used blades in. First of all, sometimes they're not fully dull. It's just I'm working on a lot of projects and I need them to cut the first time. So I might replace them more because I do these videos, I sell products. I'm cutting a lot, so I replace them. But I always keep these. First of all, it just keeps them safe and, you know, has the special lid on it. So if a child does get it, they're unlikely to get into it and cut themselves. And secondly, it keeps them from getting all over the place. And eventually, I will figure out how to properly dispose of these according to my local bylaws. So once you've got it out, I don't need the tweezers anymore. You can just pick it up. And you just drop it in. You're done. Turn it upside down. Put it back into your unit. Close it up. So that's for that spot. Now, the A spot there, that can be used for many different things, including, and I'm just going to get rid of this blade here while we're talking, including your scoring stylus. So if you're making cards or anything like that, and you need score lines for folding, this is the scoring stylus for Cricut. It is so handy. I like it. Now I know the original Maker machine had a scoring wheel. That is not available on the Cricut Explorer Air 2, so I have the scoring pen. I find it works really well. So when it comes to, A slot, you just take it, you're going to put it in. I always put the arrow out. Just pop it in, close it up. Okay, so you can use your scoring wheel in there. You can also use the Cricut pens. So this is an infusible ink pen. So this you can use to sublimate designs on. And if you're not sure what sublimation is, don't worry. We're going to cover that in a video as well. But the same thing here. So you can draw with these Cricut infusible ink pens and put designs on things. Or let's say you're doing a card and you just want to write on the card or an envelope or something like that. You can also use the regular Cricut markers. So those regular markers, they look pretty well the same as that, except for they're just regular ink. They're not the special ink that you need to draw designs and put on t-shirts, mugs, that kind of thing. So again, you just want to push it down until you don't see the arrow anymore. Close it up, and you are now ready to go. All right, let's talk about these 3 buttons here, and then we're going to talk about hooking it up to your machine. So these 3 buttons here are for when you are ready to cut. And this button here is where you load your mat. So you're going to take your mat. You're going to take the plastic off of the mat. And you're going to, let's see if I can do this here with the camera. Let's move this back a little bit. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it, and you see these guys here? You want to make sure your mat goes in underneath those. So when your mat goes in, these are the rollers. This is what's going to feed the mat back and forth. And then obviously the knife or whatever you're using comes down and it, you know, cuts or draws or scores or whatever it is you're doing. Now, here's a little hint and tip for storing your mats. They fit perfectly, the Cricut mats fit perfectly underneath your Cricut machine. Now, it's not going in there very smoothly because I have a tablecloth and it's a little bit tight with the tablecloth there. But when I have this just sitting on a table without a tablecloth, the mats fit under there perfectly, and that's how I normally store them. All right, the last one is connecting this to your machine. Now you have two options for connecting it to the machine. One is to connect it directly. So that's where you're going to plug this in to the other plug on the back. So this end goes in your Cricut, and then your USB one plugs into your computer or laptop. And this is the fastest way to get your machine hooked up because you're not trying to connect through Bluetooth. It's a lot easier, it's a lot faster, but it limits you because you're only bound by the length of the cord. So the other option is to connect through Bluetooth. And so you'd have to go, and there are specific instructions on Cricut.com. I will try to find them and link them in the video for you on how to connect the Bluetooth part, because it can be a little bit difficult. Now, I do find that certain areas of my house are better for Bluetooth than others. My basement here, where I do my crafting and I do these videos, is not always the best. So sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it doesn't work at all. And I don't think that has anything to do with the machine. I think it's more my house, my laptop, those types of things. So if you're trying to hook up with Bluetooth and you can't, and you're getting frustrated, just hook up using the USB, get yourself started and going, and then later on you can fix it. The other thing too is sometimes, you know, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. If you know someone who's techie or a young person who uses Bluetooth all the time, just get them to help you set it up, because sometimes it's just the simplest little thing you have to press, or a setting or something that makes all the difference in the world that you don't know about. So either way, that is how you are going to hook up your machine. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm excited to see you on your crafting journey. Don't forget to boop the like button if you found this video helpful, and check out my other beginner videos, tutorials, and project ideas. So this is Kim Thompson Pinder from Kim's Crafting Corner. Have a great day.